Welcome back to the Hot Slice, a podcast brought to you by the people at Pizza Today magazine. And I'm with some of those great people today. Senior editor Kate Lavin, executive editor Denise Greer, and I am Josh Cowan, creative director. So, welcome to the show.
Hey, hey, and this is kind of a special episode. We have July 4th tomorrow, so we wanted to come in actually pretty strong with this episode. But we thought we'd get us on the podcast first, talk a little bit about what's happening, and then get our guest on.
It is the 4th of July tomorrow, if this airs on Thursday, of course,
Yes.
but you could be watching on Friday. How are sales? Are you open? First of all, we actually discussed this on the podcast. Are you open? And if so, how are sales during the 4th of July?
Yeah, I'm always curious about that too, because I don't know what restaurants are doing really on the 4th, so I'd be curious to find out. So make sure you let us know on the social.
Yeah, it's always known as a big cookout day, but
Right.
that can go backwards.
I'm
Or
a, I'm going to
and
tell you that I may be cooking pizza on the 4th.
ooh, I
I
like
might
that.
get the pizza oven going for the 4th. I don't know. I have family in town, so we'll see how that works.
You know,
But
Give me an idea for what
honestly,
I'm
it's
going
been
to do
it's
too.
been, it's been so hot. I would
yeah.
rather order pizza than stand in front of a grill. That's
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. But speaking of my family, so I visited family over the weekend because my little brother was in town from California, and we ordered pizza. And so Brad and I love this pizza because it's the pizza we grew up on. And but the folks from home are like, this is just so expensive. And I'm like, first of all, okay, so we ordered three like large size all everything topping pizzas. So there was like a 16-inch pizza. We ordered three of those and two orders of breadsticks. And how much do you think it was?
Um,
I'm gonna say $80.
I would say that's right. I was gonna say 75, $80, something like that.
Wow, you guys are thinking it's going to be a lot cheaper. So it was 110. And I thought that was really good because I'm thinking about the fact that we fed nine people, three pizzas, two orders of breadsticks. We fed nine adults on three pizzas and two orders of breadsticks. And I'm thinking about if you were to go and buy a value meal at, your local whatever, it's going to cost you 10 to $12.
Is
Uh,
your family birds? Because I would take one of those pizzas myself.
and
I mean,
now we do. We can eat off of that. I don't know. I don't know about you. I mean, we're not pigs, but
Also, if you go out to eat with nine people, you're dropping at least $200
Oh
more.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, but I just thought it was interesting that we my some people in my family thought that was really expensive, and I'm just like, no, that's actually really cheap
I think once you
comparatively.
hit that $100 mark, everybody it kind of goes into new territory for everybody.
It's
It's like, okay,
true. It's
Yeah,
like there is a big difference between $99 and $101.
right.
that is true. That is true. But I look at it as we had the pizza of our childhood, and it was just kind of a fun experience.
Yeah.
So that's just
All
what.
on top of family. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, and and that's the thing I love about pizza, and that's why pizza always does so good in rough times is because it is a communal food. You can sit together and eat it together, and so I think that makes pizza just a great thing.
Or you can sit alone and watch TV and by yourself and eat the whole
And
thing.
eat the whole pizza too. That's
Either one,
fine.
either one, and both of
Yeah,
them are great. So,
yeah, that's fine. So, but Josh, why don't you introduce our wonderful guest who everybody loves?
yes, if you've ever been to a pizza expo, you've definitely seen this gentleman. He was our keynote speaker in 2021. He's the owner of Andolini's and a whole bunch of other concepts. I can't even keep track
Yeah.
anymore. I think it's 12 concepts
He's
that
got
he's
12 right
12
now.
restaurants that he owns. So, and you know, Mike is all about systems, and he has got it down pat.
Hmm.
And just listening to this podcast, I was inspired, and I don't even run a restaurant, so I think you're going to get so much from this podcast. Yeah,
So, did we mention his name? That it's
Yeah,
Mike Bausch.
Mike Bausch. Mike Bausch. Enjoy Mike Bausch.
Such a good guy.
Are you ready to elevate your bakeware game? Spokane, Washington-based Lloyd Pans is the trusted name for professionals and home chefs alike. For over 40 years, Lloyd Pans has been creating innovative food service, bakeware, and pizza pans and tools designed to deliver perfect results every time. Whether it's crispy golden pizza crusts or perfectly baked pastries, Lloyd Pans' durable, stick-resistant, and proprietary pan finishes are a game changer. Visit lloydpans.com to explore our full lineup and find your perfect pan today. Need shipping quotes or custom products? Email sales@lloydpans.com for personalized service. Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide.
Hey there, y'all. Welcome to the podcast. Yay,
Bausch.
Mike Bausch. How are you?
I am well, very stoked to be here with all of you, my Pizza Expo camp friends.
I know, and it has been a hot minute then since we've talked to you. So we need a catch up. What's been happening, since Expo? What's been happening this year for you?
Well, for Andolini's and Andolini's Worldwide, our restaurant group, we're looking at creating more ventures here in Tulsa and doing just more cool things in our community, which has been our whole gig from the start.
Yeah.
To the Pizza Expo community, to people that have followed what I write about, and I'm trying to take the things that I know work through 20 years of getting my ass handed to me, like at least
Yeah.
the first 11,
Yeah.
and trying to really help other owners through what I do with Unsliced. And it's really fascinating to see the amount of similarities with
hmm
owners, while they are all extremely unique individuals. The problems that I
Yeah.
see are sometimes laughably cliche.
Yeah.
What are some of the top, let's say top two or three
Here's
that
one here.
hear
So
every
here's
time?
here's an asinine, stupid thing right out of the gate of the podcast to stop doing.
I
Stop
love
doing
it.
this. I'm
Let's
telling you right
go.
now. Get
Bring
your
it.
thinking caps on. Don't have the one time you post to social media be telling everyone, "Hey, we're closed today." It's like there's nothing that they've done all year. Like, hey, everyone,
We're
something went
closed.
wrong and we're closed. So don't come here today because we're closed because this went wrong. It's like, and then you see the no post for like the last
Yeah.
3 months. So that's what's just staying on their
Yeah.
feed is this announcement. And it's
Yeah.
like, even if that did happen, even if you're posting every day,
Yeah.
still not a good idea because there's going to be 10 people that show up and you're like, hey, I'm so sorry. Here's a coupon. Come back next time, blah, blah, blah. But not announcing to your 3 to 5,000 followers, this is wrong. Don't come here.
And we're not going to let you know when to come back.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's the other thing. So, we had a fire uh
Yeah.
2022. We had a fire at our restaurant, and in Tulsa there had been like 3 fires at restaurants, and they burned to the ground, done, never opening again. Our
Wow.
fire was pretty big, but we had our protocols in place. We knew exactly what to do. Hit
hmm
the extinguisher, and then we worked 25 and a half hours straight to get back open the next day. And I had to
Wow.
manage each news organization coming and say, so what does this mean for Andolini's? Are we never going to see you open? I'm like, we'll be open tomorrow. And then like getting the press ready for like, hey, come back tomorrow for a press story. Cause
Yeah.
I need to run that we're back open.
Yeah.
And the the quandary of the modern pizzeria owner is they love the product.
hmm
Great. They're buying the cheese that they're proud of, the sausage shop, all that's great. But they're not looking to minimize the constraint and maximize the revenue output. If you
hmm
look at it like a widget factory and take yourself and unromanticize it for all of 3 minutes,
Yeah.
what are you doing to prevent people from buying from you? And there's so many things, even just how many clicks it takes to get an
Yeah.
order. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's the second one. Don't tell people you're closed, and stop making it so hard to order from you.
I know, right? I loved your column you did on the Amazon like experience because I'm actually doing an article on apps right now on what people can do with building out their apps, and I'm just like, it's just like crazy with the amount of clicks that some people are using to actually purchase,
Just
to
a
purchase a
personal
piece.
pet peeve, just a personal pet peeve, going to a site and having to go through so many options and actually start an order before you can see the menu. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, I want to be able
Oh,
to see
I
the
hate that.
first thing. And
Yes, it
yeah, and then I have to start an order and put my address in and everything before I can even see the menu. That's
for a
just
pickup order. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
like, I want to pick it up. It's like, what's your address? It's
yeah.
like, hey, we don't
What's
know
your
each other
email?
like that yet. Don't I just want to come see what you sell.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then what people are putting on their website, whether it's, they'll put about us
Hmm.
and then not write anything about themselves. It's like,
Yeah, I've
about
seen that.
us. We believe in making the greatest product ever. We
Yeah.
believe. I was like, who is we? What do you? What? Who
Who
are
are
you?
you? Yeah.
Fresh
So
ingredients, always fresh ingredients.
always the
Yeah.
freshest. If the
But
pizza box says the same thing as you, and the pizza box is the same generic box sold to everyone, it's
yeah.
not a good messaging.
No. And then like not having the location on the front page of your site or on the front page of your app, whatever. Not having where you are. Because if I'm trying to order from you and I am not from Tulsa, like
Yeah.
and I see, there are pizzerias, but not having where you are, like that drives me absolutely insane.
And there's a lot of things people can do to make it easier. I I'm a nerd for this, and
Yeah.
I don't want to talk down to be like there's all negatives. There's little things I've learned, like
Yeah.
heat mapping a website. I've learned through heat mapping and where people are putting their
Hmm.
clicker that when we had listing of each location to choose from, like in a
Hmm.
drop down, it didn't do nearly as well as when we put an icon of each location and
Yeah.
an image of them, a small little thumbnail image. If you want to see how we did it, go to andopizza.com. But you'll see by doing it like that, it made it
Hmm.
much easier for people to choose the location and the likelihood of them dropping off from our website reduced. And I could not have done that when I was at one store, but now that we have, 12 different things, I can say, you know what, let's be more thoughtful about this and
Yeah.
spending my time towards things like that I'm like, oh, really? Wow. A drop
Yeah.
down doesn't work as well as an image. Huh.
Huh.
Okay. Even just saying start your order does better than just writing order online.
Hmm.
For those that out there who don't know, what is heat mapping and how do you use it?
So what we're doing is we're having deep analysis of where people are on the website, on our base website, where they are stopping, where they're putting their clicker, how long they're there
It's
for.
insane
All
how
that
you can
stuff
do
could
that.
be analyzed. And I was
Yeah.
like, you can? I'm like, if people are doing that to me, I want to do it to my customer and see
Yeah.
what I learned. I'm going to use this for good. So let me
Yeah.
do something with it.
When I was in college, we did a thing on eye tracking. So it's a similar thing, and this is like the modern version of like eye tracking, see where people's eyes go to
Hmm.
first. But now we can real time see where their cursor is touching and where their cursor is moving around the page, which is just the amount of analytics you can get from a site now is just insane. It's so unreal.
So don't go to andospizza.com and just move your cursor around like
No, don't do
Nope, by
that.
all
mess
means.
everything
That's fine, baby. In fact, I implore you to do it. It's fine. Go
It's
go and
fine. Go
see
ahead.
and I'll get that pop and know the data.
Yeah.
Understanding data too, and I think people get freaked out and scared by what to do or how do I get someone to do that. And there's certain things that just if you don't have the money or revenue, look at someone who's doing your thing really well and then mimic them.
Yeah.
So I just a lot of times I'll say, just go to my website and see how I set up the catering tab because that's a lot of effort I put in to do it. And you could just
Hmm.
not build it out, just copy mine. Like if it helps someone, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I think that works. So Mike, what's happening right now with your business? Is there anything that's really tying you up, that the industry is also feeling that we can really talk about?
I mean, I work through a lot of things. I creating strong there's so many different parts of this, whether it's everyone in leadership knowing what their role is and how to execute on it. We've worked between my brother Jim and I very hard on cleaning that to make it very tight and obvious
Hmm.
what everyone's supposed to do. Then you get into all things metrics. Lucky for us, we're having a banger year. It's just great sales. The messaging is tight. The way we're hitting the customer over the head to turn them into our customer. I think the thing that's really in everyone's mind is, okay, what is my relationship with third party going to be, and how do I own it on my terms as much as possible?
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of the work we've done with DoorDash specifically to turn them into a lead generator instead of a leech.
Yeah.
They're a lead generator for us. So if you take your pricing and increase it on DoorDash proper, but then keep it tight on your site and people to come to you, now the X factor is, how do I get as many orders as possible? And here's the rub post COVID is, algorithmically, we are going to be judged by how quick the dasher gets in and out.
Hmm.
So we had to like look back on our menu, like, what slows this down at all? Because if it does, it's going to hurt how many of those orders we get.
Hmm.
So that's a big one for us in timing the DoorDash orders, and making DoorDash people feel welcome
Yeah.
is a thing that people are like, well, they're making money off me. What do I care?
Yeah.
You should. You
Yeah.
should care about welcoming them in, making them stoked to come and get food from you. Because
Hmm.
you'll even see, like, if a new Door Dasher comes in and he's kind of got a surly attitude, the other Dasher are like, hey man, be cool. Like, these guys are cool to us. Like, don't be a jerk. Don't screw this up. So getting him drinks, having him a slice of something, all of those things matter.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I've been hearing a little bit of like where people are just having trouble with, getting that profit margin right now with labor costs and food costs. What do you say? Because you're doing it so well with what you do. What do you have to say for those operators who are really struggling with that right now?
First off, own your metrics. the
Hmm.
first the first rule, not like suggestion, rule. Own your metrics. And that is not what Toast or whatever POS you have tells you. That's a
Hmm.
guide.
Yeah.
So I would say, let's look at it like losing weight. Okay. And if you were, what you get from your point of sale is like what you put into a calorie tracker app.
Yeah.
It's theoretically going
Right.
to guide you, but nothing's going to determine it better than what the scale says. Like, that's real facts. So your point of sale is saying, hey, this is what we think happened, but what does your
Hmm.
bank account say?
Yeah.
What are you really pulling out of the bank and putting into the bank? And then you put that data into a spreadsheet that shows what vendor payments are coming in each week, what you're actually spending, what you're actually taking in. Because if you think it's like, oh, our labor percentage is 14%, well, it's like, well, it's not factory managers, not factory and benefits, not factory X, Y, and Z, or maybe even the owner.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to make real moves on it. You can't make moves on data that hasn't shown itself for what it truly is. So
Hmm.
own your metrics on your terms, have it clear in front of you. Do it yourself. Do not wait for your CPA who gives it back to you in 3 months. That is not a smart move, because you're just like, they'll be like trying to do weight loss again. Hey, what did I eat in December so I can try and make weight loss decisions today? Like, it doesn't correlate that way.
For sure.
What is there software for that, or you just get the books out and the pen and paper and going at it?
I've built a lot of sheets. We used to be on Excel, now I'm on Google Sheets for what we see, what we're
Hmm.
at, and where we're. Right?
Oh, you okay?
Can you guys hear this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
pause.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you hearing background sound?
No, just you.
No, just you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's good.
And I have my own sheets. The people in my program, I share what we use. The these sheets have to be very, very tight and easy to use. I can't emphasize that enough. Having it easy to use. Here's our revenue. Here's our vendor payments. Here and then bright green. This made money. Bright red. This is a loss. Labor tracking, and all of it is not rocket science, but it's just planned out. It's intentional. What do we think we're going to make next week in revenue? 30,000 bucks. Therefore, we have, let's say, 9,000, $8,000 that we want to spend in labor, and we're going to split that across front of house, back of house, and manager. And then, and only then, do we build out a schedule, knowing what we not want those projected numbers to be. And then afterwards, did that actually occur?
Yeah.
Because that which is measured gets done, whether it's labor, food cost, and actual revenue. And if you don't do those things, it doesn't, all the other hype just doesn't matter. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because most owners are like, I make this impeccable product, done. I'm a success. I figured it
Yeah.
out. And there are no shortage of people who have won the big prize at Expo who have gone home to a less than half filled restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, is there anything that would show up as red on your spreadsheet that you would ever keep on the menu anyway as a loss leader to kind of get people into the restaurant?
Oh, for sure. So when it comes to judging what lives and dies on a menu, I'm all for all killer, no filler,
Mhm.
except if it could be, let's say gluten-free is not going to be like the of an app, a gluten-free eggplant parmesan appetizer, but that's going to bring whenever there's
Mhm.
8 people, like, well, we can't go there because of this.
Yeah.
No,
The
you
veto
can.
vote.
We got this item.
Yeah.
That's a good example of one that might be lower. Then if something's just like super, we look at food cost, we look at cross utilization, and then we look at how well it represents us as a brand. If it's still not killing it after those three things, it's either, all right, remove it and then do McRib theory, like bring it
Mhm.
back every now and again,
Yeah.
or we just got to slam the marketing or rephrase it like it's a good
Hmm.
video, a good social media video that just had a bad 3 seconds, first 3 seconds, or a bad name to the menu item. It just needs a refresh and it could land potentially.
Yeah. I love that. You said you've had a big year this year. Kind of what's really contributed to that big year at Andolini's?
I think there's a few. The biggest thing is an easy lane, or not super great answer, but it's a very low attrition rate.
Okay.
Having a very, very low attrition rate means that we have staff that just get it.
Yeah.
And by treating staff well and having all of our managers who have been there for years on end at this point
Hmm.
that know how to handle every scenario, it significantly cuts down on redundancies, failure points, bad training. And if you have hire 10 people and one's a unicorn and three are great and four are like, we're like all unicorns at this point.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's that's a big win. And that just, hey, a big 12 top came in and just knowing, all right, great, we'll move these two tables together, boom, we got them sat down. Not like, okay, we'll get to you when we get to you. That's how restaurants lose. That's how you lose money, lose a customer, and then people just don't come back. We don't have, or we have extremely small amount of that at this point,
Hmm.
which is producing revenue in any environment, while a lot of restaurants aren't. So my
Hmm.
biggest advice to anyone is take your staff
Yeah.
and have fun with them, do an get together with them. Right now, if you're not having this high super duper morale, the
Yeah.
easiest thing I would say is do a cookout for their families and then thank their spouse and their children for why they work with and for you.
Yeah.
Because now, if it's like, oh, dad's always working, you've killed that.
Hmm.
Yeah. You put a face to it as well.
Yeah, you have. I think about like how well you do with dine-in, and we have seen where dine-in just isn't doing what it needs to do for a lot of operators. What can you attribute to, you guys just killing it with dine-in, and what you can say to other operators to kind of help them, figure out that dine-in component.
There's a lot of things anyone can attempt to do and see what lands. You have to give more reason to come in for dine in because
Hmm.
people are so trained to use their phones in the post-COVID world. And I know we're
Yeah.
like 5 years up, but it's reverberated. It's trained everyone to do
Yeah.
it. So hey, you get the free item when you dine in. Now, I don't like discounting, but I do
No.
like added value. So,
Yeah.
hey, this garlic knots, you take something with no lactose and no protein on it, it's going to be pretty affordable for you.
Yeah.
You can have a garlic knot or some type of breaded appetizer, and it's completely free.
Hmm.
You buy one soda and it's free to you. Like, oh, no
Yeah.
way. You want to reduce the friction as much as possible, get bodies in the door, stoked about it, and then just make them feel the experience as much as possible. And that can
Hmm.
save a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night. So we have Monday night with a big promo. Tuesday night is an off menu pizza with a rare off or a rare
Hmm.
beer that we get a brewery to let's do. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you got some kooky ass beer you want to do? Great. Along with one of the pizzas that did it, that out of our 100 pizzas, that only 30 are on the menu. So we choose one of them to McRib it.
Yeah.
McRib theory, very strong in a restaurant, I've learned.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday is free garlic knot Wednesday night. And boom, we've just secured Monday through Wednesday still keeping up.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of just take care of themselves.
I think that the title to one of your seminars next year needs to be McRib Theory.
McRib
I
theory.
love it. Jeremy, knock it off. Let's go.
I will happily do that seminar.
I love that. It's so good. And I think about like, um, when you talk about, oh my gosh, it just went out of my head. Sorry, Katie's gonna have to edit that part out. But
No,
um,
don't edit it, Katie. Keep it in there.
don't edit it, Katie. Don't edit it. No, it's fine. But I was thinking about the fact that, people are spending less on, the research that's come out that people are spending less on dining out, less on dining, less on, they're trying to save their money a little bit right now. And, you talk about those value added opportunities versus couponing, which we absolutely deplore.
And we should deplore it, but there is the other aspect of this, which is people eat out for three distinct reasons: value,
Mhm.
convenience, and everyone listening to this podcast, just give up on those two.
Yeah.
Just wave bye bye. Value, okay, you can fight that battle, you'll lose.
Yeah.
Convenience, maybe if you're located near a college,
Yeah.
okay ish. And then last but certainly not least is experience.
Hmm.
So how are you being that? And the most people are like, well, in my town, there's with gas stations in the mix, I have 400 competitors for pizza. And I would argue you really don't. If you're trying to be
Hmm.
experience driven, you probably have four at most.
Yeah.
And if you could just be better than those four, you're in a pretty good spot.
When you say experience driven, just what are some of the things that come to your mind, when you're walking into a pizzeria that get all this, they have the experience down.
The experience does not necessarily mean opulent experience. That is an experience, but if you're going for authenticity, let me feel it when I walk in the door. If you do have dine in, the host is stoked to be there. It's if you're going for kitschy fun, lean in. If you're going for authenticity, make me feel like I'm walking into the village and having a slice. Like if you're going whatever ambiance you're doing, understand that ambiance is going to determine your success more than your food and your service, which
Hmm.
sucks. I wish that wasn't the case, but go into a crazy ass fancy restaurant in New York with a big ass chandelier right when you walk in. You have eaten nothing and you know you're about to drop some coin. That's the
Yeah.
ambiance doing the work. So if your ambiance screams, oh wow, these guys like kind of give a crap, you can then charge more and make people feel purchase pride while they ate there. Like, wow, I'm smart. This is the place you come to when you're in X city.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what you need people leaving with. And everything supports that end statement. The chairs, the uniforms, the lighting, the music
Hmm.
that's played. If it just seems slapped together, which again, dive ambiance can be an ambiance, but it needs to not be like Hyatt Regency ambiance. It can't be bland in a negative way. It needs to have vibrancy in some way, shape, or form that makes me feel purchase pride. And if that occurs, you can figure anything else out.
I
When
love
you're
that.
opening a new restaurant, do you bring in experts to help you with that ambiance factor?
Now that we've moved into the realm of fine dining, yes. But
Oh
even our
wow.
last fine dining restaurant, me and my brother like, I don't, we know what to do with this. And we probably should have gotten more in the mix. We had a lighting expert, and then
Hmm.
I soundproofed the walls with old Italian movie posters. As we are building out our next fine dining restaurant, we are getting, because at that rate, you really do need it. Now, all of our pizzerias, we built, here's the interesting part of this case is our second store we built to look like a New York bar from the 20s.
Mm.
Wood,
Oh,
we built the wood, we built the bar. It was not that pretty. And then because it looked like we built it, it was better than if we had paid someone to do it. It just
yeah.
had this real authentic feel. And I saw a couple come in lost into the restaurant because I'm used to all the families in Owasso, like family fun Andolinis, and then I saw a little black dress and a guy in the sports coat. I'm like, okay, they're lost. They must be trying to get to the Italian place. And I see him sit down, I'm like, they're not lost. We built this place to look nice, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't
Yeah.
even put two and two together that in our attempt to just look like comfortable. We
Yeah.
had a nice bar and it had this authentic vibe that brought people in. And I think that in an AI world is the most important thing. Does this feel like your attempt to do an impression of something, or is this you being you? And with the
Hmm.
Marine Corps guidon flags in the restaurant and our beers, no like Bud Miller or Coors, but just our favorite beers, and no well vodka, just like Tito's and above, it was like, oh wow, this is kind of like a thing. And that's how
Hmm.
we hit the head on the nail day one of our second location.
And I think we're a lot of us are very experienced. Um, what about trying? We lack experiences nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like the experience deficient. So anything you do a little extra rather than just walking in is really gonna pay off for you right now.
Absolutely. In every business, anything that you could do that hasn't been done before.
Hmm.
Take it a complete separate example. There was a business in LA that was a maid service. They were just another maid service, but this one maid service that was charging the same as everyone else left fresh baked cookies when they left. They cooked
Oh, I love
baked
that.
cookies, and then they went from being like $115 to do the service to they went to up to 135 and no one canceled. They went up to 150, no one canceled, and then they just I'd be like, oh, those are the ones with the cookies, and they just got
Yeah.
bigger and bigger and bigger, and no one's canceling them because they have the cookies because it was this little extra. Now anyone could have bought. Now these cookies are turning into like $30 cookies essentially comparison, but that experience, like, well, I'm not going to get rid of them. I come home to fresh baked cookies, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that sticks in my head is like, how are we doing that little thing more that people are like, well, those guys they do the thing. I don't want to leave
Hmm.
them. They do the thing.
Yeah. I love that. So fun. Um, so what are you looking forward to coming up? Like what's what are you planning for? What's like top of mind for you as far as moving forward into this next half of the year?
I am fully redoing all of our email sequencing based upon buying behavior,
Oh
and
wow.
that's quite the undertaking.
Okay.
That's a
Sounds
big
that way. I
project.
don't even know where to start on that.
That's a big project for your boy. And on top of that, I am at 20 years deep in this with a bunch of dope restaurants, and we could just hit up our charities and be like, hey, what do you guys need right now?
Hmm.
And do something cool with them. We're in a really good position. And I'm trying to enjoy it. I
Yeah.
think that's something. But Mike Bausch's goal in 2025 is enjoy this even more. So
Oh, I love it.
uh, I am stoked for it. I want other owners to be stoked about
Mhm.
what they do and to lean into it and to know by giving in more to your staff, attrition drops. By giving more to your community, not only does attrition drop, but the purchase behavior of your customer becomes stronger. So
Mhm.
we did all these things just because we did them, and I'm like, oh wow, this is really turning it into an ROI thing that I never intended it to be. So that's what I'm planning on as we grow into more restaurants and more in our community. This independent thing is awesome. And then what I do with other owners, other people that get
Mhm.
involved with Unsliced, I'm just loving taking what I do, what I know works as an
Mhm.
active owner, and showing it to the masses, whether it's people from Pizza Expo or other restaurants who do
Mhm.
what I do. Like little things like I have a whiteboard. I show people how we take a whiteboard and don't use apps in a very analog manner. Everyone has visibility of how we know. That's just something I noticed once at a hospital. And I do that and I show it, and then restaurant owners like, oh my God, can I do that too? I'm like, you can. Here you go. And then they do my program and then they see it. So I am very fulfilled in doing that stuff for other owners across the world. And then especially what we do and have been doing in Tulsa for the last 20 years. My stokage is in a high regard currently.
That's
You
awesome.
you have a fantastic TikTok. I mean, it's daily update. Is it daily? Is it pretty much daily? You're up.
I went and I saw, I got, sometimes almost like I get with someone who's killing it. Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
Because
just
TikTok versus Instagram versus YouTube versus Facebook are
Mhm.
all wildly different. And I'll even take a few minutes to deep dive exactly what you can do to fix all of those right now. Instagram, post 2 times a day at 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. about your opinion on something, showing your food, and then pulling it out. TikTok, you need to do what's called a pattern interrupt. You need to have a shaky ass camera and make it look like a 17-year-old made it. The second it looks better than like a 17-year-old made it, you've already lost. The
right.
second people feel sold to at all, you've already lost.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, YouTube, long form, thoughtful, with a great hook. All these have to have a really, really good hook and then double down on whatever hooks work. And this is how you'll game it. Now, the problem with that is if you see that you're getting a bunch of follows, it's like, well, is this follows because I'm entertaining the masses? Which is
Mhm.
not what you want if you're a local
No.
business. You want to get people in the door.
Yeah.
And if you're saying, well, how do I know that this is actually working? My best advice is to get many chat, ManyChat, many chat triggers, where you could then say, you can't do this on TikTok, you can say it on Instagram. And if you want this thing yourself right now, hit pizza and I will send you a link. And then it DMs them a link. Instagram will let you do endless amounts of these. It's $15 a month. It costs near nothing. And then they get the link to then do whatever you want them to do. You can automate it, you can do all sorts of stuff. And you're like, I'm not a marketing guy, I can't do this. I swear to God, it is so damn easy. It's easier than creating a Facebook ad to create a many chat trigger to then just send people where you want it to go automatically.
Mhm. I love that. I was wondering what you use to be able to do that because I see you do that on your Instagram
So
quite
easy.
frequently. Yeah,
Denise,
that's
it is
awesome.
stupid easy. People like there's things out there that are hard. Like learning ad structure, that's hard.
Yeah,
ManyChat is not.
for sure. And I think this is going to air this week, so it'll air the day before July 4th. So
Oh,
here
we're
we
talking. So
are.
here's something to all you people for the 4th of July. Are you closed today? Holy God! If you're closed on a Friday, you're like, well, my staff. I'm like, then ask if your staff wanted to work or work yourself with a skeleton crew. It's a Friday. We're in the hospitality business, people. Like,
Hmm.
I get it. I totally do. But if people are going out to eat, that's our job. There's 2 days we close a year. It is for Christmas and Thanksgiving,
Yep.
Jesus and turkey, because people are staying home as is. Anything else other than that, figure it out, or else your rent doesn't go down because you close those days. A
Yeah.
Friday, summer, holy God. So now it's a question of what are you going to do with it? Slices, like we're going out to where all the fireworks shows are,
Hmm.
having slices available, doing that and monetizing the hell out of that Friday because
Yep.
that's our job to keep the healthiest business possible so that our staff can get raises, do more charity, do all those things. And that's the way we approach this business. And I can tell you, doing it that way for 20 years is a crap ton easier than trying to just get by and close a few days here and there.
Oh
We
man,
have some
those
operators watching right now. They're calling up their staffs. Yeah, about
let's open tomorrow. Let's open
July.
tomorrow.
We're gonna be open.
Yeah, no joke. Well, Mike, we could talk to you for just hours and hours and hours. We'll let you go to, get back to business, get back to getting
All
stuff
righty.
done.
All right,
So,
guys. Thank you so much
well,
for having me
Bye.
back on.
thanks so much for coming on. We'll talk to you later, man.
Right on.
Take care. Bye bye.